Hello everyone. In today's lesson, we'll talk about how to prepare data frame in Excel and how to import the data frame prepared in Excel to R, and lastly, saving codes in R. The first one, which is preparation of data frame in Excel, has step 1, which is the to determine the independent variable or factor and dependent variables in your hypothesis. So the independent variables are those variables that have effect on and the second type of variable, which is the dependent variables. So the value you get for your dependent variable actually depends on the factor or the independent variable. So let's take some few examples so you can understand what independent variables are and dependent variables. So for the first example, suppose a researcher wants to investigate whether different pacing strategies affect the time to complete a marathon. The researcher assigns a group of volunteers to one of three pacing strategies. To do this, the researcher has group A, B, and C. For group A, he asks the participant to start slow and then increase speed towards the end. For group B, he asks the participant to start fast and then slow down towards the end. Then for group C, he asks the participant to run at steady pace throughout the race. So with this, we can see that the pacing strategy will have effect on the time of completion of the race. So therefore, independent variable in this case is the pacing strategy, while dependent variable is the time of completion of the race. So let's take an example, which is the second one. Suppose a researcher wants to investigate whether different training methods impact employee productivity in a retail company. The researcher randomly assigns employees to three training groups. For group A, the participants were exposed to traditional classroom training. For group B, the participants were exposed to online self-paced training, while for group C, the participants were exposed to on-the-job training. So in this case, the different training method will have effect on the productivity of the workers. So the independent variable will be training method, while dependent variable will be productivity. For instance, the researcher here might want to measure productivity in terms of sales, in terms of the sales. For example 3, this is a particular example for researchers in life sciences. We have the effect of ethanol leaf extract of Moringa oleifera on alanine aminotransferase in Trypanosoma brucei infected Wister rats. In this case, the different concentration of ethanol leaf extract of Moringa oleifera will have effect on alanine aminotransferase in the Wistara that was infected with Trypanosoma brucei. So in this case, the independent variable is the concentration of the plant extract, while the dependent variable is the alanine aminotransferase concentration. So for the step 2, we need to create column for the dependent and independent variable in Excel and impute the values. But note, before you impute the values for your group and your time, the group in this case is the independent variable or the factor, while your time is the dependent variable. So it is good to note that you should never impute space in between characters in cell, especially for the independent variable. In the beginning, we said we have three groups. We have group A, group B, group C. But if you want to input it in cell, you don't write group A, you don't type group A, group B, group C, because if you do that, there are some errors that might occur when you are running or you are running your command. So it is advisable to impute characters without spacing. That is why this first style is wrong. So it is better you use the second style. Say give the different groups group 1, group 2, group 3, or you say group A, group B, or you say A, B, C, or you say you can say G1 as in group 1 or group A, GA, GB, GC, like that. So we should take note of it that we should never add spaces in between characters for our independent variables. So to import your data from Excel to R, this is one of the methods you can use. You click on this table, then you click on from Excel, but before doing that, make sure that your document is saved in Excel from Excel sheet format or SLS format. So after clicking on from Excel, I already saved in the sheet we prepared previously in a document titled My Data, and it was saved on the desktop. So I'll browse the location of the file, and I've gotten the file, then I'll open it. So after doing that, I'll then click on import. So these have imported the data frame from Excel to R. So for the second method, to copy data or your data frame from your Excel to R, you just need to click on the document to open the document that contains the data. Then you highlight all the cells that contains the data. After highlighting, you then press Ctrl C to save in your clipboard. You can see now in Rstudio, and I've pasted the code in. I've written out my code or pasted my code in the source environment. So this code, remember, there must be space between your header and the true, and then there must also be space between your file and clipboard. I mean the space between the equal sign, and then there must be space between comma and file here, because so when you click on run, you see the result of what you did. Down here we now have the group and the time in your Rstudio. Or more specifically, you can assign this code to a particular name. Let's say you want to give it data. You want to give it the name data. You can say data is equal to then space. So after that, you can then say run. If you say run, it means you've assigned the table you imported from Excel into R a name called data. So you can use that in future. So after importing this data from Excel, it is advised that you save the code so you'll be able to get to use it whenever you want to. So let's say I want to save this code. I will just click on this save icon, save current document. I'll just click on the icon. Then after clicking on the icon, I'll give it a name. I can give it a name, new code. Now say save. Then once I save, you can see the name of this script has been changed to new code. So I think this is all for now. We'll talk more about the use of R program for other important analysis in the next video. Thank you very much.